Hi, today we're going to talk about how to study for a PACE test. The first thing you want to remember, even though it might sound silly, is that you need to make sure you read all of the information as well as fill in all of the blanks in your book. Sometimes we think that, oh, I understand this concept, but if you can't fill out all the blanks, you probably really don't. So don't ever skimp on it. You need to fill out everything to show that you really do understand the concepts. The second thing is, once you've filled out your entire book, you need to go back through and mark all of your incorrect answers. But that's not enough. Then you need to go back and fix all of your incorrect answers. If you look at it and say, oh, I understand what's wrong, then you should be able to fill in the correct answer. The next thing is, when you get to the point where you need to take your test, you need to go back through all of your checkups and self-test and look at all of the things that you're not sure that you can remember. And that's when it takes us to flashcards. Flashcards are really helpful to study what you're not really sure you can remember for a test. So we're going to talk about how to fill them out and how to use them. What you need to do is get a stack of index cards. And it might be kind of thick like this, and it might even be thicker. What you need to do is then go through the checkups and self-test and write down all of the questions on one side, and then on the other side of the cards, write in the words that would be filling in the blanks. You also need to go through any vocab you're unsure about, and you need to write those down in the flashcards as well. Now, let me show you exactly how that is done. I would go ahead and I would look at the first question, and I would write down on one side the question with the blanks, and then on the other side of the card, I would write in what would go in the blank. So, I'm going to use these two cards as an example. This card says, on one side, the distance around a planet is blank, its circumference. The other side, I would say, equator. Now, once you have them all filled out, now we need to practice them. So, I would read one to myself. The distance around a planet's blank is its circumference. And if I wasn't sure what the answer was, I would look on the back, equator. And then I would put it in the I don't know pile. I would go to the next one. A blank eclipse takes place when Earth moves between the sun and the moon. Now, if I knew the answer, lunar, I would get to put it in the I know pile. Once you have two piles, you're going to practice the I don't know pile. You probably only want to choose about 5 to practice at one time until you really know them, and then you can move them into the I know pile. Once you have all of your cards into the I know pile, make sure you go through them one more time just to double check that you really remember every single answer. Now, flashcards are really important to learn how to use properly because it's going to help you score higher on your tests as well as prepare you for college. When you get to college, you need to know lots of vocabulary and lots of answers to problems. And if you don't know how to study them correctly, then it's going to be very difficult. So I encourage that you use your flashcards and use them correctly.